Ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited to join you today in this online forum, which is very timely, regarding the role of financial technology in driving climate action. Just to give you a background, our organization is the largest financial institution in Eastern Africa, with assets of more than $11 billion, operating in Kenya, in Uganda, Tanzania, Rwanda, and Burundi. We have a rep office in Ethiopia, and we also operate in South Sudan. For us as KCB, and for many years, we've been very much involved in terms of our businesses driving sustainability, engaging our own organization. We are actually among the few early members of the United Nations Financial Initiative, Principles of Responsible Banking, many years ago. And we have also signed commitments to net zero as an organization. And what we have seen is the challenges and the changes we see for the environment because of the impact of climate change are very real, especially in our markets. And more so the role of using financial technology or fintech to drive and perhaps accelerate the actions that we have as an organization. And KCB has been on the forefront. And that means that we are able to work with different level of customers, look at the challenges they face. We build a lot of organizational policy around sustainability, screening our customers around the social and environmental management system that we have. We track the review. We have short-term commitments on our climate actions and green lending. And we believe that in the short to medium term, we should be able to achieve more than 15 to 20% of our total portfolio. That is a portfolio of green or climate-related financing in our organizations. And I think that for me is exciting to see what institutions can place. And I'm happy that we're on the driving seat to ensure that we can, and also invested strongly in terms of our technology. And I would say today, if you look at our own portfolio of investments, whether it's on the mobile level of investment, our own platform we launched a year ago for Fintech called Vuma, where we can do onboarding, assessment, investment review, lending. I think that's one area, and payment as well has been one area of focus for us. We have specific investment on technology, particularly on small groups. We call them chamas here, so chama facilities that we have, or social lending. We've been able to do that also on green lending for customers in the area of I would say agriculture. So we call it Mobicro. And that technology enables us, in addition to just online onboarding our customers and making those investments possible, as one area of utilizing that knowledge, making it easy to access the financial institutions, and in a way, being able to accelerate the actions you are making as an organization towards climate change. So KCB as an organization, with other colleagues in the world, many banks, signed on 2 years ago on the principles of responsible banking, just to be able to enforce our own commitments for what we see as the role of banks to drive their actions, not just lending, but also even our own activities as organizations. So one is commitments around our signature to the net zero commitment, which we made a few years ago. But also being able to say, how do we treat customers who come into organizations, the product that we normally have? We many times signed on into 8 sustainable development goals. From SDG number 1, we've been spending time on organization, SDG number 8, number 9, 10, 11, 12, 16 and 17, and summarizing them is making sure that as an organization we can be able to build with like-minded organizations our investment to drive change using technology. And that is what we continue to run today. We also do measure the outcome of this investment over a period of time. So it's not one thing to make commitments, but I would say in the industry it's also important to make sure that we have matrices, either through our social environmental management programs or integrated reporting. And that gives us a chance to be able to invest and say, are we delivering the commitment we are making? So through either sustainability reports, which we normally issue every 2 years, or our daily monitoring and monthly communications, this is one area I believe you couldn't take climate action alone. My belief is that this is the time to call upon every single stakeholder, financial sector, regulators, partners, innovators, fintechs, to be able to build their business activities. And for us, we're happy to be as a leading organization, on the forefront of catalyzing that. Now, we have many other players in the continent, but I'm happy that KCB remains a champion of ensuring that our technology actions today lead to results through climate action. So the commitment, and obviously if I open it up a little bit more, the impact or effect of climate change can be seen much more in the environment where we are, especially in the Africa continent, and more particularly here in East Africa. And so for us, we looked at energy replacement with clean energy as a big ambition for our businesses for the last few years. So if you are going to solar, for instance, as a big area of intervention, we are migrating or investing into solar solutions for all our networks. And I believe that this is one area I believe that the replacement for us can only be 50-50 as we move forward in the next few years. And so whether you look at some of our units, some of our businesses, whether it is faraway branches or even some of our centers here, that's one area of investment we've been able to make. And even in terms of our own investors or customers, we do bring in our supplier engagement where we drive that together as an organization. We also look at our usage because net zero, make sure that we must reduce our own emission levels. So we do look at our power consumptions, look at our water consumptions. We look at overall the movement of energy that we consume, and we track it. We've been making savings or reductions of between 50 to 20% every year across the networks we operate in, which is significant. But more importantly, to bring in other partners. So whether it's our supplier pool we are using at, whether it's our customers we are engaging today, that value, for me, it must be seen that driving a change for climate action cannot be singular. It's bringing up every single stakeholder in the engagement. And if I look at the investment, particularly for technology, because that is the focus of this, what can fintechs do to drive climate action, is about the investment we are making in various areas of services for our customers. So, and we've, last 2 years, spent more time investing in a very integrated payment platform, a lending solution for our customers, and also saving profile through what we call as a VUMA integrated solution for our customers that brings around payment solutions. And this is important for me. Any customer in the chain, whether it's a customer today who comes in today for a $10 request, or is a large customer today that wants $10 million of facilities, we are able to provide a range of solutions for him using technology. Whether it's internet banking solutions we've invested in significantly in the last few years, and that has been very critical for us because today we are seeing 300 to 400% growth in these businesses of transactions online. And I talked a bit earlier, some areas of excitement when you look at climate actions or green lending is on areas, for instance, today on buildings, on area like real estate where we are a big lender in that segment. Agriculture is another area, food security, providing for that. So this, I'm very convinced that financial institutions are in the nexus of translating actions through the investment to make sure that those commitments lead to changes either through adaptation, which means current programs are being rebuilt, or through new investments to drive real climate actions. And that for me is something I believe that we are finding huge value. There's a lot of learning, obviously, for us. Because part of a year ago, we got ourselves into the Green Climate Fund, a huge facility to onboard customers who are very much deliberate to enhance their investment in these sectors and be able to have projects that basically reduce the impact or adapt the challenges we see today. And a lot of our big customers is about formatting, is about building the knowledge, and also being able to help them profile those projects together. That's an area we're spending more time on today, not alone. We are spending that with the GCF globally, our own capabilities locally through climate actions in Kenya and in the region. And I'm raising those actions that those pockets of change require more collaborators, and KCB is being an anchor for that change and action. So with real examples, for us, we've been in this journey for more than 10 years. So if I look at our own, the other head office we have in Upper Hill, it has been very certified as a green building. So actually one of the first green buildings in this part of the world. You have natural lighting coming in. We are using, solar power to power the building. Obviously, that is one step for ourselves as an organization. But also we've looked at, we have branches, and I can use examples like our Masai Mara branch, which has been fully running on renewable energy, or even solar power for a long time. We also a big lender as KCB into projects that deliver green energy or clean energy into the markets. We're very deliberate as an organization. In many years ago, when we set up our own investment in sustainability and our own policy, and so we drove a specific target of sectors we can lend and the ones that we do not. And that for me is exciting to see. So every part, I would say that whereas today we are focusing on the impact we're facing on climate action using fintech, which is using technology, accelerating, and also we can collaborate more today. So today a customer is sitting in Nairobi or in Singapore or in South Africa today. With the same model, we're able to deliver the same level of services for them, especially consumer lending, customers within our consumer space or our retail banking space. That, for me, is exciting. And I've seen in the last few years, we're also partnering along with many fintechs. So the good thing about this model of our vision is to aggregate different players, whether it's on payments, online payments, whether it's around our agents network we are driving in today, on transport sector, how do we deploy that technology? So in terms of providing those solutions, that for me depends on a model to drive change using investment technologies, making it easier for customers, and I believe ultimately reducing our overall level of emissions and delivering our commitment for net zero. I would say that today it's a very exciting moment for also very historic. In a way, we see the real impact for climate change. These generations, our generations today, and particularly in the markets that we operate. So the reason why we've been committed in this journey for 10 years is, in the long run, there is no choice for not acting. So the chance for non-action doesn't exist today because the impact, whether it's on the difficult weather patterns, whether it's a rainfall patterns that are unpredictable today, you can continue to see. And we've committed that today, our green lending proportion of our total portfolio is around 5% or 4 to 5%. Our ambition is to take this to 15-20% in the next 3 to 4 years. So by 2025, we want to make sure that at least 1 out of 5 of all our portfolios we have are purely today green lending in all sectors, whether it's in agriculture today, it's in constructions, transportations, our financial services. That's one area we'll continue to focus on. But sustainability is also very broad. And me seated here is to showcase that many more players in the sector. It's also a running call for many financial services players to be able to plug into the investment of technology, particularly using financial technology, to be able to drive the changes either through the services we offer, how customers reach us today as an organization, and finally, how we all collaboratively deliver a more expanded sustainability ambitions beyond just climate change. Because Sustainable Development Goals, one of the goals is climate actions, which is goal number 13. So by delivering one of the 13, we actually deliver a much more integrated environment globally and build ourselves, not just in Kenya, but in the region, to deliver our part. And commitments for climate actions today are very, very, today we are starting early days. There are many people we are working with as an organization. I mentioned the United Nations Finance Initiative as one area, or the UNEP-FI as one area of focus. And I see, with that delivery, we should be able to drive the agenda for us in terms of changing the impact that we see. So I say that the future belongs to ones that do. And the choice for us as an institution is not to be bystanders, but is to come and say, this is our drive. Any single investment we're making today is very deliberate towards impacting or improving the level of emissions and therefore delivering a better environment or a better planet for everybody. And KCB gives a real commitment in our journey. We'll continue to do, and I want to wish all of you today a good sessions for today, and I wish you all the very best.